in Had's opinion, as for whatever it is worth, he's guessing that they have problems that they have to deal with. Either Chuchult is dead, or she's going to have a tough time convincing everybody to do what she wants, and even if what she wants is catching us. It's
Yeah.
there's a lot of there's a I mean, who knows if the shaman's still alive? If he's not alive, then a lot of things have to get taken care of. It's not. I think we've got a little bit of. I think we've got a little bit of room to
Yeah.
get to the river and to get home.
Since it's the first time I get to talk with a
That's right.
person that
And that's
lives
his first
in the
chance to
human
talk to you.
land, yeah,
Mhm.
it's also my first time to speak to somebody who comes from where I live
Right.
in a
Mhm.
long while.
And culturally, he
So
looks very familiar to you.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
similar
imagine so.
to Listas, who also looked culturally familiar. Yeah, he's from your exact region, so it's pretty familiar. So
So I say to him how I feel that since the quail is in good terms with the people, the places where we come from, it's not like if we get home we are going to be perfectly safe. So I start to try to understand who is he working with, and if he feels he can arrange for us to be protected. I guess what I'm trying to sell him the idea that
right,
I'm on
right.
board
Mhm.
with this entire thing about giving the sands to the
Right.
people he's working
Well,
for, and
that's his point. He says, "Listen, I am one of Sisevel's men. She trusts
Mhm.
me with a lot of different tasks, negotiations, or concluding problems, and we uh, and I'm actually pretty surprised to run into you. I thought, okay, for some time, um, we knew that you had gone to Sisvel, you had gone to the Jackal, and you had gone to quest for this sand, which was exactly the plan as we all had understood, you included. And so, um, however, when their people told us that you had not come back, it hasn't been that long. We're not worried, but some of us were told to go and start asking around the region.
There were some significant complications with our travels. Yeah, so
So that's not too surprising, and in fact, it looks like you've had quite some experiences. But it also, I'm a little confused about why you didn't just go back to Sisvel. But who knows? You may have had your reasons or problems. Who knows? But anyway, my understanding is that you want to get this back to Sisiva as agreed. A great deal of respect and reward awaits you, and so I am here to help. I didn't expect to run into you personally like this, but as long as it has happened, then why not? However, I do think it is relevant to Sisiva and perhaps to my own safety if there is some kind of supernatural menace chasing you. I at least would like to know more about it. Um, and
as
so,
I'm sitting, I just wondering how much did I get of what's going on. I mean, I can safely assume Farid understand that the sands are tied to the spirits, and I mean, I don't have to roll for my occult or folklore stuff. I know, I can say my character knows that
Well, I think so, yes, but it doesn't. But you
okay.
don't know much. You would have to roll to understand any implications or complications that could occur.
Okay.
So
So
why don't you
basically, if
go
I
ahead and
tell you,
do that folklore roll.
okay,
It's a good
One
idea.
question.
Yeah.
How much did Farid hear of my conversation with Itala? If any?
That's going to be fate. He was in sensory range, but he was also dodging saber cuts and not
yes,
dodging
and
other saber cuts. So that means
one
that
of my biggest regrets for that scene is that I picked up a completely useless so far skill, which is lip reading, and maybe it would have made sense to use it in the occasion.
Maybe I have to talk to that guy.
Mhm.
So for my myth lore,
Mhm.
oh, 0.8. I get it. I have 20%, but it worked.
Well, that's great. And so, actually, as we know, the precise wording on the skills is actually part of the fun of this game. So
Yes.
let's take a look at it. And
It's page. Wait. Percentage skills.
it's the sage skills are actually the first of the
Yeah.
non-combat skills. And so, in this case,
Page 71.
yes, I was right there. Okay, so in this case, actual creatures, right? Mythical. This is not to say all myths, right? Okay. I was
made a
supposed to
mistake.
roll, but we will pretend that I
Yeah.
rolled it because it was so beautiful. And so, and besides, with the success, it's really non-problematic, I guess. But the right, okay. So failure means you could not see the truth in the midst of the myth. So therefore, you do see the truth in the middle of the myth, or the stories or the beliefs about spirits and shamanism, which are very common in the region. So, not really a surprise that you would be familiar with what people say. The point is whether you can recognize the truth and understand the truth inside that, and you can. So in this case, what you realize is that it is not like spirits live in the sand. This is more of a symbolic relationship. When Tokeft started using shamanic abilities and brought spirits into the situation, that unleashed for lack of a better word, it unleashed the spiritual meaning, the symbols of what the bag represents, what the sand represents. It's almost more like a focus for spirits to enter the world.
Yeah.
Rather than spirits like sitting in the sand. So, and that also provided a pathway for Ithala to appear. So it's not like, as you carried those sands across the desert, it's not like there were all these ancestral spirits sitting in them. That was not the case. It's just sand.
Yeah.
But it's symbolically extremely important. You do shaman things around it, especially the kind of spirit magic that they were dealing with.
It's kind of a catalyst.
Yes,
I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And so, therefore, it then permitted me to have monsters defined as uber spirits, right, using the death wraith and the nightshades and things like that to manifest. So the in the persona, in the expression of that ancestral history. And you are able to think more about this because you know the history better than anyone living at this time. Right. So putting it together is pretty easy for you, especially if you roll like that.
So
So,
I tell him that
right.
what I guess what I tell him is that yes, there was something going on, but we are safe now. It's
Right. Yeah.
as long as we don't encounter magic, it's not going to be a problem.
Um, it's as though he does know enough to say it's as though the old people of the land were there.
I think I have discovered that those memories aren't as buried as we would like to think.
He's thinking about it a little bit and says, well, Sasiva doesn't care about any of that stuff. She just cares about making her life comfortable, and as she's getting older, um, being secure. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about any kind of shamanic or spiritual crisis once we get back to her.
I think I'll give her the truth of what I've found, and what she does with it, it's her own choice. So I think we just need to get to her.
He agrees about that. He says, is your friend with us?
Which one?
The woman who fought the ghost. That was brave. Crazy. But without her, I don't think we would have gotten out of there.
It's quite likely ruled, but I don't expect her to follow us. I don't see her around, at least. And I give him kind of a smirk. Around.
Right. Well, he lives in Duster territory. He's fully aware that they could be snaked out anywhere. So he's
what I'm trying to say is that I think right now, actually, I'm hoping for Itasha to be around. I don't think.
Oh no, I get that.
To know.
What is your default skill with lying?
Yeah, it's.
That would be in the streetwise skills.
I'm looking for it. Okay, 3 is luck over 10.
So right, yeah, 3 is luck over 10. For you is like 10% or 12% or something.
6%.
6%. Go ahead.
Very good. You won't believe it, I rolled 0.7. So I fail. Oh. I rolled amazingly. I fail.
Okay, well, fair. Had, as you say, oh, I think she's not with us. She's gone. Had gives you kind of one hard look and doesn't continue that side of the conversation. But his take is, well, these bags are pretty torn up, and we've lost more as we've run along. So let's see if we can work on these and get a better situation. I don't think either of you has any leather working skill, so you will have to proceed slowly to keep from losing more of the sand.